San Nicolas Island. This is the furthest of the Channel Islands off the coast of Southern California. To a small group of natives, this was home. Although we do not know what they called themselves, the Chumash called them Nimino Koch, and we call them the Nicoleno, after the island they lived on. To begin with, there is evidence of habitation on this island from 8000 BC. The Utoic Kupin speakers did not arrive in the Southern Channel Islands until the first millennium BC, who were the ancestors of the Nicoleno. It is important to note that due to the few Nicoleno words that were recorded, they were a completely unique people and non-offshoot of the Tongva, as previously thought. There was also a bi-faced lithic tradition on the island. Their material culture, based on archaeological digs on the island, consisted of soapstone bowls and effigies, grass mats, bone knives, and shell fish hooks. Of course, owing to their location, their culture revolved around the sea. The first European to sight San Nicolas Island was the Spaniard Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo in 1543, but he did not land on it. Then in 1602, Sebastian Vizcaino visited the island and gave it its name. After this, there is no record of what went on in San Nicolas Island until the 1800s. After population decline, the Aleut of Alaska were hunting otters for their furs off the coast of California. What is believed to have been due to disputes over hunting claims, they massacred the population of the Nicoleno on the island, leaving only 20 individuals surviving. There was a cache of artifacts found on the island dating from around this time. A redwood box full of knives with redwood handles, steatite effigies, Aleut bone harpoons, European brass buttons, and worked glass biface arrowheads. Back to the story of the survivors. A rescue expedition was commanded by Captain Charles Hubbard in 1835. The surviving Nicoleno got on and were sent to Mission San Gabriel Arcangel. All were accounted for except for one woman, who was not able to arrive in time due to a storm that arrived. She lived there on the island all alone until 1853. In that year, she had finally been found by a party led by George Nidever. She was seen living in a whalebone hut, with racks of seal meat and wearing a dress made from cormorant feathers. To add to this, she was skilled in basket weaving, and this account of how she lived and her habitation gives us a glimpse of how the Nicoleno lived. She was sent to live in Santa Barbara Mission, where no one could understand her language, and by that time all surviving Nicoleno had died of disease. She was baptized Juana Maria. She sang a song which was recorded on a wax cylinder, sung by a Chumash man, who learned the song from a man who had accompanied the expedition that found her. Here's the recording. Although the meaning of the lyrics is not known, it is theorized this song expresses mixed emotions about leaving her island and the happiness of being in the company of people again. Sadly, Juana Maria passed away 7 weeks after being rescued, having little immunities to the diseases of the mainland, like her fellow Nicoleno who were rescued. But this is not the end of the Nicoleno story. Recently, a historical researcher in Ventura County researched the question of whether Juana Maria was the last of her tribe, and found out there were Nicoleno survivors. At least one 5-year-old boy was found to have been baptized in 1835, baptized Tomas Guadalupe, and was still alive when Juana Maria was living in Santa Barbara Mission. He had a family and a son, but the trail goes cold after that. He lived on Spring Street in downtown Los Angeles and passed away in 1861. Today, the island is a military base not open to the public, and archaeology in the last century on the island has uncovered how the Nicoleno lived and shone a light onto the history of this unique culture endemic to a small island, one of the many fascinating cultures of native California.